Hey there, you with the stars in your eyes. My name is Kiris, and this week in our astrology cosmic forecast, we have the full moon in Scorpio, the sun in Taurus making a conjunction to Uranus in Taurus, and also the moon in Scorpio is making very strong and powerful connections to the two lovers of the zodiac, Venus and Mars. Starcasting to you from the City of Angels. Hello, welcome, and thank you everyone for being here and listening to the Voice of Astrology podcast. This is your astrology cosmic superpower for the week beginning Sunday, May 11th through Saturday, May 17th, 2025. Let's journey together with astrology and explore how to connect with the stars, the planets, the energies for our new week ahead. Sunday, May 11th, the sun's day, we have the moon in her fall, not feeling powerful placement of Scorpio. We are also approaching the full moon coming up. We're just several hours, just about from the exact moment of the full moon at 22 degrees Scorpio. The moon in Scorpio, ruled by Mars, is making an inconjunct aspect to Venus in Aries, ruled by Mars, and a square aspect to Mars, its ruler, in fixed fire Leo. Venus and Mars are the two romantic sexual planets in astrology. The moon in Scorpio is making an inconjunct aspect of frustration to Venus in Aries. The moon also is making a square aspect of action to Mars, its ruler, in fixed fire Leo. Scorpio is the sign of intimacy, the merged energies and power that bring closeness, bonding, emotion, feeling, and caring. The element of water in astrology is extremely sensitive and needs to feel that it can trust a person and a situation. Water feels and has instinctual emotional intelligence. They just know everything is a big emotional situation to them, and it's also very quiet and silent. Water signs can be having a conversation with each other without saying one word. There's always an underneath emotional language taking place, where the element of water would get the signals, yes, you can get closer, become more intimate, or water may get the emotional signal, no, do not trust, do not go closer. With the moon in Scorpio, fixed water Scorpio, and all of the water signs in the element of water, it doesn't matter what they see visually on a surface level. All of the other senses, elements, air, fire, earth, if the water is not feeling it, feeling a yes, then it's going to be a no to intimacy. One of the things I find fascinating is that the water signs in the element of water can appear to be very cold on a surface level. They're anything but that. They are feeling all of the time. They're deeply sensitive and feel things very intensely. On a surface level, it doesn't seem like anything is happening at all, but that underneath silent language is always going on, always with the water element. So as we start off the week on this Sunday, our emotional body, which is the moon, is trying to figure out, make the changes, take the action in the area of where and what are the blocks to further closeness and intimacy. Monday, the moon's day, May 12th, we have the exact moment of the full moon at 22 degrees Scorpio. 22 degrees Scorpio is the third decanate, the third division of the sign of Scorpio, which brings in the sign of Cancer influence. Cancer is ruled by the moon, which are the memories. The sign of Cancer has an eternal, long memory, especially when they have been wounded and hurt. In astrology, we say that Cancer the crab will lose the claw before they let go, meaning before they let go of a memory and an emotion. We just started off the week with the moon in fixed water Scorpio, making aspects to signs of the zodiac in the element of fire, Venus in Aries, Mars in Leo. There is a universal cosmic difference between how fire expresses anger and how Scorpio fixed water expresses anger. The Venus in Aries, Mars in Leo, in the element of fire. Fire is very present, upfront, expresses its anger about something, and then gets over it. The anger was expressed in present time, and then typically anger, 5 minutes later, they don't even remember what they were upset about. It's over and done with. Fixed water Scorpio, and what this full moon in Scorpio is all about, what it's highlighting for us is Scorpio can be resentful, can get bitter, can also want to seek vengeance with anger that has turned inward. Anger not expressed in a present, healthy way, which is there to protect you. All of our human emotions, every single part of our humanity that life and the cosmos has wired into us, is there to protect us and keep us healthy. And also, all of the different emotions are there to give life meaning and purpose. Like the full moon in fixed water Scorpio, when anger is turned inward and simmers there, is fixed there, just stays there, and isn't released and expressed somehow, then the wall, the block is set in place for intimacy. And not just sexual intimacy, but this is really highlighted for us, the sexual intimacy with this full moon in Scorpio, but the intimacy of trust, closeness, belonging in all of the relationships. The full moon in Scorpio is highlighting for us, what has it done to you? What is it doing to you when you hold on to fixed water resentment, bitterness, and the need for vengeance, the need to even the score? Somewhere in your personal astrology chart, you have the sign of Scorpio in one of the departments of life. Whether you are a Scorpio or not, you have this component of how do you deal with something that has hurt you, angered you, and what do you do about it? And where has it created that block, that wall for further closeness and belonging? The element of water can freeze, become frozen, and turn into ice. The loneliness, the coldness, the not feeling the exuberance, the happiness, the excitement of life, and just how joyful it is, which is fire, is potentially what can happen when a person becomes frozen in resentment and bitterness, hanging on to an emotion way past the time where it should have been put to death. Scorpio is the sign of life, death, transformation. Scorpio, also ruled by Mars, is Mars saying, can we finally cut this cancer away, this poison? Full moon in Scorpio is putting a huge spotlight on the question of, are you once and for all willing to let Mars do the job it is supposed to do? The planet Mars, the lesser malefic, is trying to protect you, but certain things have to go, have to finally be put to rest and rooted out so that you can plant the new seeds of life and grow and thrive and be happy. Have you ever known someone, or perhaps you relate to this on a personal level yourself, where something happened 50 years ago, 30 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever the time frame is, and that person is still as angry, bitter, and wanting to get even vengeance as if the event happened yesterday? Don't you want to say to them, let this go already? You're killing yourself. You're ruining, destroying your life, destroying your health, staying frozen and blocking yourself from closeness and intimacy in all its different forms. Not to mention that you just can't listen to it one more time for one more year, and so forth and so forth. So many times when clients come in for a reading, as a professional astrologer, One of the very important reasons why they do is because it's finally come to the point in their life where the people that love them the best, simply can't listen to it anymore because they feel like they can't help that person. So the person will seek out some type of professional help. And if this relates to you, please do so that you can finally, once and for all, put it to rest and let it go. Scorpio is the sign of death. And yes, there are times in our life when certain things, it's time for it to die. The full moon in Scorpio is our once-a-year check-in highlight during springtime when we're supposed to be planting the seeds of new life, because the opposite of the moon in Scorpio is the sun in fixed earth, fertile, fecund, sexy, sensual, earth, Taurus. One of the most important things that can help you out if you're trying to let go of resentful emotions is Taurus is also humor. It's a sense of being able to step back a little bit and see the humor in things. Laughter will save you. Not only does laughter save you, but everything in nature, which is what the sign of Taurus represents, knows what to do instinctually, naturally, which is to move forward because it is a new season, a new time of life, and get busy with the business of life. Because with this full moon in Scorpio reflecting the full light and power of the sun in Taurus, the sun in Taurus is saying, what are you building for your future? What is blocking you there because of the moon in Scorpio? Which do you choose? Taurus season, springtime, new life, anything's possible, it's all ahead of you? Or the full moon in Scorpio, frozen, ice, blocked, and stuck. Scorpio is also regeneration and renewal. You can melt that ice and come back to life and thriving anytime that you make the choice to do so. You have that cosmic superpower. Tuesday, Mars Day, May 13th, things are really warming up because we now have the moon moving into mutable fire Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the open-hearted child that loves to play and sees the sense of humor in all things, which is greatly needed after this very intense full moon in Scorpio. The moon in fire makes a fire trine flow to Neptune now in Aries, a sextile aspect of opportunity to Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. Moon in Sagittarius makes a fire trine flow to Venus in Aries. This is a big Jupiterian, over-the-top, much-needed cosmic vitality with the energy of this day saying, go out, reach out with the masculine elements of air and fire. Go out and make some friends. Travel, take a trip. This is Sagittarius. Go on an adventure and explore something new. Doesn't have to be far away. It may just be a new place in your own neighborhood. But the blending of these fire and air energies is like opening up the window, letting the crystal clear, fresh air come into the room, giving you the energy that you can take a big breath and breathe again. Feel lighter again, opening up the space for something very positive to come into your life. This feeling continues on Wednesday, Mercury's day, with the moon still in Sagittarius, making a fire trine flow to Mars in Leo. The moon, which are your emotions, making a fire trine flow to Mars, very favorably placed in Leo, is the needing and wanting and the willingness to take a new action, to do something about what it is that you truly love. Leo rules over the heart. And so with Mars in Leo, connecting to the moon in Sagittarius, this is very brave and having the confidence to do something that is a little bit scary, but also very exciting. Fire is very extroverted and illuminated. It's light. It makes me think of entertainment and performance. So even if it's just as a hobby for yourself, get into something creative. And the moon, Mars in fire, gives the courage and bravery and the excitement to do so. There's nothing like the element of fire that warms things up, shines a light, but also almost forces us to take an action that makes us get out of ourselves, meaning to express outwardly in present time the emotions that you are truly feeling in the moment. It's a very healthy thing to do after this full moon in Scorpio, and it's exactly what the cosmic doctor up in the stars has prescribed for you. Thursday, Jupiter's Day, May 15th, we still have the moon in Sagittarius making a square to Saturn in Pisces, both ruled by Jupiter, Sagittarius, and Pisces. Is Saturn being very serious about your joy, your happiness, your sense of adventure. Saturn in Pisces has taught us a lot about addictions and avoidant behavior. Saturn, as we know, is getting ready to change signs and move into the sign of Aries. So the moon, which is what we need and what we want in Sagittarius, happiness and fun and laughter, with this connection to Saturn and Pisces on its last few degrees now, is Saturn's reminder that to get very serious about your happiness so that you don't fall back into avoidant addictive behavior that ultimately is not healthy and happy for you. The planet Saturn, getting ready to leave the sign of Pisces, is very serious as far as gratitude, because if you were to ask yourself, well, how do I get out of this Scorpio resentment and being frozen like a block of ice? Jupiter in Sagittarius and Pisces goes right to the attitude of gratitude, which is when we start to say thank you for every blessing in our life. Just too many to count. When we go to gratitude, there's more than enough for everything and everybody. This moon square Saturn is where Saturn is very serious in giving us the lesson and test of Saturn, which is when you hold on to gratitude, that will also, along with the humor and laughter and love, this is what will get you out of that frozen block of ice. Friday, Venus's Day, we now have the moon in her detriment. She's in cardinal Earth Capricorn, making a square aspect of action to Venus in its detriment in the sign of Aries. Moon in Capricorn also makes an Earth trine flow to Mercury, now in Taurus, ruled by Venus, which are the sounds and words of love. So we've got this tie-in here between Moon, lost in her exile, the farthest away from home in Capricorn, making the square to Venus, Mercury in Taurus, ruled by Venus, which is being more aware and mindful of the words you say to yourself, the way you talk to yourself in your own head. Make it as loving as possible, and also from the words in our mind, what we and how we communicate that outwardly. Venus is also in her exile in Aries. So with the two feminine planets, the moon and Venus, in their detrimental placements, this is a highlight during this full moon week, a reminder of what you say, how you say it, how you talk to yourself, and also how you communicate outwardly. Just go to the moon and Venus at their most feminine goddess power, which is the intuition, the instinct you have towards kindness. And Mercury in Taurus, ruled by Venus, loving words and communication. Saturday, Saturn's Day, May 17th, we close out the week with the Sun in fixed Earth Taurus, making a conjunction to the planet Uranus in the sign of Taurus. This is a very big deal for the Sun in Taurus, fixed Earth Taurus, and somewhere in your chart you have Taurus, whether you are Taurus or not. Typically with Taurus, which is fixed Earth and likes to keep the peace, the planet Uranus making this conjunction with the Sun is a feeling of wanting more freedom, wanting more independence. It's a restless kind of a feel. Now, because Taurus is ruled by Venus, which is love and creativity, the artist, this Sun conjunct Uranus in Taurus is a rebellious kind of energy in that getting creative, thinking outside of the box, a bit eccentric in what you want to create in your life and in your creative process. Everybody is an artist, whether they realize that or not. This Sun conjunct Taurus is wanting that feeling of doing something different outside of the day-to-day, never changes Taurus routine. This is a springtime new cosmic energy and vitality that happens when we get out of the same schedule every day, same old, same old. This Sun conjunct Uranus in Taurus is also very exciting in the area of your love life. Taurus is ruled by Venus, the planet of love and romance. We are in springtime, and the full moon in Scorpio is all about melting the ice and becoming unfrozen. So if someone, for instance, wants to fix you up on a blind date, say yes. Do something differently connected to your love and romantic life. Our full moon in Scorpio is the phoenix rising from the ashes. The transformation that takes place when we are willing and ready to let something go, to let something end in our life, so that the rebirth, the renewal, the more beautiful and glorious phoenix can rise from the ashes and be more alive, more happy and excited to be alive, and more sexy than ever before. Thank you, everyone, for being here and listening to the Voice of Astrology podcast. Have a fabulous week, and I will see you all in the stars.